Peace and blessings, everyone. Once again, I am back on the air. This is Dr. Copeland trying to come to your earlobes. I'm not going to try to hold your ears hostage too long today. Today, I don't have to give my disclaimers. Anything that I share with you is for edutainment purposes only. Do not take this for medical advice. Please, it's not here to treat, diagnose, or cure any type of symptoms or elements that you may be having. Please consult your professional medical provider. With that said, I come to talk today about food, and we're going to talk about once again the history of it a little bit. We also going to be talking about should we cook our food today. Learning is something that's like you're going to forever do. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true studier, a person that's going to looking for true elevation, always trying to elevate to a higher self. You know what I mean? You're never going to stop learning and being put to the test or come involved with things that's for you to learn to get you to where hopefully you're focusing on going. With that said, I was just, just going over some notes. I'm digging in some books right now, dealing with food because I always get that question of what do I eat? What can I cook? You know, what is there for me to eat? Ain't it very expensive and so forth and so on. So, I made a lot of y'all out there may get them type of questions too if you're into the holistic field. And I'm like, okay, I'm personally learning that you shouldn't be eating or cooking pretty much anything. Okay. If you look at things in nature, it doesn't have a frying pan. It doesn't have grease and oils and stuff to boil and deep fry their foods in, right? Especially let's look at like a lion or some type of actual meat eater, because a lot of us as humans right now we consider ourselves carnivores and versus fruitarians that we truly are, and we think we are vicious animals sometimes, and we love meat, right? And we love the fleshitarians, you know what I mean? Want to rip into some flesh and, some people like it medium rare, you know what I mean? Where the blood is still oozing out and then just maybe even dripping from their lips, family. Maybe even dripping from their lips. But with that said, let's look at something wild and let's look at the animal. Most animals that eats meat. I look at buzzards that be around, right, flying through the air, they coming in. They don't wait for the sun to fully cook it. You know what I mean? Until it's nice and golden brown or something, and they throw a few seasonings on it. They go for the gusto with the worms and the magnets, or they like it raw. They eat it raw, family. The lions, like I said, they and eat as much as they choose and leave the rest for the, I guess, other scavengers that's out there, that's also going to consume the parts that the lion or even any other animal didn't consume all of it down, right? So with that said, we're supposed to eat things raw. See, people eat meat, they saying to get the protein, but then you got to ask yourself, okay, we got this great big, 1,000, 2,000 pound cow that we chopped up, abused, went through all type of mutilations to get on your plate, family. Ejaculations, you name it. It went through it, family, to get on your plate, fam. And you gotta ask yourself, how did it get that big? What does it eat? What does it consume all day long? Well, me having the opportunity to be on the farm, I even know how to call the cows to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain saying. Maybe one day I do that for y'all. Take y'all down to the country and call the cows for you. It's my grandfather taught me how to. It's a certain saying that you say to the cow. You scream out and they'll come running, right? I guess it's an Indian thing, you know what I mean? But anyway, I just say that to say, I watched them before, while I'm meditating in the field or something, or I don't call them to me or whatever. And overall, they eat grass all day. They the lawnmowers. If it wasn't for your cows, you got to have your cows to help clean them fields. If not, you're gonna have bushes, trees. You know what I'm saying? Stuff gonna be wild everywhere. But they'll come around like lawnmowers, fam. And they just eat grass all day and greenery. That's it. And so you eating the cow to pretty much get the same proteins, which they get it from the plants. And you consuming the cow for you can get the proteins. In which you go into like what is it called? The middleman. Why don't you just go straight to the source, fam? And which is vegetables, which is fruits, berries, stuff of that nature, fam. Although I don't think they really eat berries and stuff, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about us humans. So we cook the food, fam. Now look, from my understanding, we're only supposed to heat anything no more than about 120 degrees, fam. 100, 125, 130 pushing it. Matter of fact, you're destroying a lot of enzymes and stuff, fam. A lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins and minerals. They can't stay in heat, fam. Very fragile. You know what I mean? Certain, and also when any of y'all took biology or any type of chemistry class, fam, because if you have, then you know that when you take a substance and say you add some water, you add something to it, right? And you boil it and put that heat to it, that changes. That's why you need the heat. It changes chemical makeup, fam. So that's what happens to our food. So a lot of some of the nutrients and like things like certain nitrites and let me see, oxalic acids and stuff like that. They may be in certain vegetables and stuff of that nature, right? They now become inorganic or in a way a poison because we don't cook it. And we don't change the chemical makeup from organic. It means it was live, it was vibrant, especially when you first, remember, I don't showed y'all some clips, me in the garden, you know what I'm saying, picking fresh fruits, you know what I'm saying, that's very important. Because when you first pick it, that's when the energy is right there, fam. That's when you get the most abundant of energy from that source, raw. That's why when an animal, unless it's a buzzard or something, or the magnets or the flies or something, as soon as they kill it, they eat it, fam. They ain't gonna sit around, wait for it to marinate, you know what I mean? Prepare it, slice it, cook it, boil it, like I said, and fry it up and bake it up. It ain't gonna go down like that. They ready to eat. That's why they kill it, right? So same thing I was always taught, don't ask for no more than what you really need in life. And that goes out here in nature too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us is dealing with gluten. And we eat things in abundance when we only supposed to eat a small amounts of certain things, you know what I mean? Even like salt, for instance. They're saying the average person only need like 2 to 5 grams of salt daily. But we consume maybe even 10 to 20 or even more amount of salt. Our body can't break down but so much of that. Can't do but so much of that. Other than that, it's going to store it. It's going to put it somewhere. And then over time, with years and the days go by, it accumulates. It turns into crystallines. It turns into blockages. You know what I mean? Turns into different cancers, different things of that nature. Speaking of that, cooking our food. Don't you know that it's the summertime coming up? Y'all ready to fire up them barbecues, ain't you, man? I get it. But don't you know that charcoal is poisonous for our system, fam? Got some stuff called benzo, benzo, benzopine, or benzene. Let me spell it for you. Benzene. You know what I'm saying? That messes with our thymus glands, in which our thymus glands also got our, pretty much our army base for our body in it. Meaning our white blood cells, NK cells, and stuff like that to go in there and fight infections and different things that may be invading, bacteria and stuff that may be invading your body. It's deteriorating, causing corruption to that, your thymus gland, fam. Charcoal cooked flesh, that is, fam. It's worse than like having 300 or 600 cigarettes, fam. You'd rather be smoking like 300 or 600 cigarettes. I don't smoke. You just have a charcoal burger. I'm just asking. I don't know if y'all can see me, but I'm just asking. Look, man. A lot of these things been taught to us. It's not part of us. I'm sorry. Y'all hold on, Miss John. I don't know if y'all can see me like that, right? So I'm trying to get into the light a little bit. There you go. There you go. Sorry, y'all. But, yeah, I had to get in the light a little bit. What was I having? Got a little excited. Oh, I was talking about it's time for the barbecues. And I know everybody, you know what I'm saying, ready to fire up them grills. You excited, you know what I mean? Gonna have them hot dogs, you know what I mean? Which is like crushed up hooves, hooves and the pieces of the meat, like the whole hoof, the nose, the tail, things that and they just grind it up all together, to make your hot dogs and bologna and stuff like that. Not including the different chemicals and stuff they add on it to preserve it, and also to kill the smell and the taste of the rotten spoiled meat. I'm just saying. That's if you're eating hot dogs. Beef hot dogs, chicken hot dogs, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do know what it's made from, don't you, fam? You eating it, you got to know what you eat. If big long words, you don't know what the word is, don't eat it, fam. Make it simple for yourself. And then like I was saying earlier, some people say, well, you eat this way, ain't it expensive? No, it's not expensive because simple fact, you're not eating the drugs. Because a lot of them foods are contaminated with so many pesticides, herbicides, all types of steroids, hormones, antibiotics. I mean, the list goes on to try to keep them alive enough to grow them fast enough to be in an environment that's not even natural enough for them to actually survive in. You see? And so you eat this stuff. And you say, I need my protein. Actually, you know what? You get a lot of protein, a lot of y'all. It's like 5 times more than meat. You can get it from hemp seeds, man. Yeah, gotta get the organic kind, you gotta get the right kind. You just can't get any type of hemp seeds, man. And since everybody on the hemp these days, you know what I'm saying, save them seeds, man. Let's crush them up. Let's get them, you know what I'm saying, into some medicine for you, but start eating them. That's more healthy than you smoking it. You feel what I'm saying? Eat the seeds, fam. That's gonna do it for you, fam. If you're looking for that protein, that's just one source. Avocados, they say got a lot of protein, fam. Which is a fruit. You didn't know that, right? Some people don't know that that's a fruit. Beans. I was looking up about beans, fam, about cooking beans, and they can be very poisonous to us if they're not thoroughly cooked. They got to be thoroughly cooked, they saying, fam, because they got, poison in them pretty much. And so they got what's called trypsin, TRYPSIN inhibitors, okay, in it, which is part of our pancreatic enzymes, okay. And so to help get rid of what's called also hemagglutinins, that also contains blocking the fats and protein intake. That's hemagglutinins, HEMAGLUTTINS. That's in beans. They can block the fat and protein intake. Can be pretty much taken out by thoroughly cooking it. And I remember, being young, growing up old grandma, because, I grew up with my grandmother and my auntie. And that's another story. We talk about that another day. And I remember she'd start like early in the morning, fam, crack of dawn, putting the beans on, fam. Although they used to put a piece of what they call ham hock in it and all that crazy. But what I'm trying to say is, she'll put it on the stove, the cooking, the wood stove, and let them jokers simmer at least 8 hours. And personally, that's how I do my stuff. I let it simmer, I let it cook. I let it soak overnight. I got a little recipe that I do, you know what I mean? Which kind of, if you soak beans, they'll like suck up all the water. A lot of the water, anyway. Depends how much water you have in it. Anyway, it sucks up some water, okay? Before the next day, I cook them for at least 5 to 6 hours. So if you're going to eat some beans, canned beans, I can't vouch for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they cook for 5 minutes or 5 hours. I couldn't tell you, man. You got to do your research on that. I'm back here. I don't know what happened. Looked like everything froze up on me, you know what I mean? But I was saying about the beans, about canned beans. I don't know how long they cook them. So I can't vouch for them. But I do know when you cook them from the bag, you need to cook them for at least anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, fam. Slow, easy cook. You know what I mean? And speaking of that, family, y'all's with these new electric stoves, fam. Let's talk about the electric stoves. They are worse than a microwave. Remember I talked to y'all before about a microwave, and if you have a microwave, let's throw that thing out. So just imagine what I'm going to have to say about a stove that's electric, fam. Then while you cooking your nutritional substances over it, this electric stove, them electromagnetic frequencies turn your cells up, fam. Inflaming them up, fam. Just before you sit there and try to nutrient your food, it's your body like that, fam. And you don't even realize, due to the electromagnetic frequencies that these stoves, electric stoves, put out. The best stove to cook on is gas stoves, fam. That flame, you can adjust the flame just like you want it. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at, fam. So I'm just saying that we had to do our research on these things, fam. And cooking our food right now, if we look at things in nature, because we part of nature, we came from nature supposedly, right? Then we're supposed to be eating things raw, fam. Straight, uncooked. Because once we cook it, we don't change the structure. And you gotta watch what you're combinating together. You don't mix, your proteins and your sugars together. No. Once again, we're causing a chemical type of thing going on. A lot of us eating a lot of grains and sugars and stuff like that, not understanding that it's turned into alcohol in our bodies, fam. Especially when you already got poor digestion, constipated. Talking about I'm regular. I poop every 3-4 days. What do you mean you regular every 3-4 days? But you have people think that way, fam. Maybe it said every 3-4 hours after you eat something. Yeah, you good. But every 3-4 days, man. I had somebody tell me that, man. So you got to be, when people say, yeah, I'm regular, you know, I have good bowel movement. Good? What do you mean by good? What do they look like? Small turds, look like pebbles. They real long. You have one big lung. We have several big lungs. You have a big splatter of it. How does it look? I know it may get a little uncomfortable trying to explain these things. I hope you look back at it now and then makes, check your poop. Make sure nothing floating around, any blood in it, all types of stuff could be in it, fam. It's good to check your stuff, man. If it's all busted, or like I said, what they call logs, I'm just saying, it lets you know about your digestive system. It's green, black, brown, white, whitish looking, colors even matter, fam, of what could be going on inside your body, right? These things are important to understand. So with that said, like I said, poor digestion, then you got the bread and sugars and all that just setting up in your body, rotting and deteriorating. Like I said, a lot of it turned to alcohol. Half of us sitting around here drugged up and drunked up. Don't even realize. I mean, I ain't perfect. I like me, piece of slice of, whole grain, they keep it frozen, sprout type bread. That stuff really ain't good for me neither, fam. You know. I don't eat it like every day, but I do like me some bread. You know what I mean? It comes from the days of me growing up eating biscuits, fam. What they used to call hoe cakes with the apples, fam. My mom used to make these hoe cakes, fam, and with fried apples, fam. You know, man, I'm telling you, ain't anybody that's from the South know what I'm talking about them hoe cakes. Well, back in there, I don't even know people even fix them anymore. Sad. They go get the Pillsbury doorman. They be pressing the stomach, They don't even know how to make stuff from scratch no more like that, man. I'm just saying. Nothing like a good homemade meal. I prefer. Before even going out somewhere. A lot of people like to go out, going all these fancy restaurants. Nah, make me a fancy meal. Show me. Get to my heart for real. This ain't getting to my heart spending your money on these fancy restaurants. I'm just saying, ladies and gents. This is my view. But back to cooking your food. I'm learning it's not a good thing, fam. And so we got to also watch what kind of utensils we use when we cooking our food. Are you using aluminum? Let's get in your food, fam. What's the other stuff that coating stuff they got? Especially after a while, especially using spoons and different stuff to scrape that stuff, and then it start peeling, and you still use it. It's getting in your food, fam. It's actually poisoning your system, fam. So why do we continue to consume these things? I say we don't really know, a lot of us. Or even if we did know, a lot of us don't even care. Because we are so uh, entrapped into this way of lifestyles and convenience. And we talked about the word convenience and how that important that was in the early 1900s to make sure y'all lived a convenient life. What they call it, Europia. But that's not for everybody, rest of us could be like slaves, robots, or better yet, they want us dead. Lessen the population up from my understanding. That's just what I hear and understand for me. So cook foods. A cow, different vegetables. Don't cook them, fam. Okay? Don't do it, fam. When I asked my mother, she already in a sense a fruitarian, don't realize that she's a fruitarian. Because she like a lot of fruits, but she like a lot of fruit juices, the frozen fruit juices, the ones in the bottle. What's that bottom something? Bottom's Farm or whatever, Farm's Bottom, whatever the name of the brand is. She be buying them big old things of that. The curry juices and all that, right? And I'm like, Mom, let me ask you a question. If I gave you a bag of oranges, before you eat each one of them, would you eat them? Will you cook them first? Boil them and kern them? She's like, I never done it. My mom always give you this long lecture before saying yes or no. But then I said, Mom, look, if I gave you a bag of oranges, before you eat one of them, would you cook it and then eat it? Like, nah. So I'm saying that when you eat these pasteurized juices, okay, they may not have added sugar, but they make them even concentrated as sugar because it is, we need the fructose sugar that's in the fruits. But however, when we cook it, once again, we back in the chemistry lab. We don't change the chemical and molecular structures of it. Then it's more concentrated sugar, which is a different type of sugar than the actual sugar that if you just took some fruits, take your blender, blend it up, make sure you have a good blender with it, blend it up real fine. If not, I guess you got to use the juices. I've seen a real good juices. That don't look pretty tough. I might have to get one myself, but I think it was like $700 though, you know what I mean? But juice, fresh, and drink it. And then if you want to store it, something that you only got like 24 to 48 hours. So only make enough for 48 hours or 24 hours, right? Because he's going to lose his nutrient content even then. You see? So when you're eating these drinking these bottle juices, then you are eating cooked fruits, which now going to turn into a new inorganic type of material, which is more of a concept, what is it called, pasteurized, and then they had the word concentrated on it, right? Then it's concentrated sugar. Don't have the same concentrated nutrients and vitamins that you're thinking that you're really getting, but you're not. It's been pasteurized. It's been cooked out. So then they add fortified, they call it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So the word fortified, they don't add it some extra vitamin C's or A's and B's, calciums and phosphorus. Which is, once again, these added ones are inorganic. That the fruit or the vegetable already had in it before you did what you did to it, to put it in the bottle before you can make your profit off of it. So, cooking, fam. Are you saying it ain't good, fam? Hey, don't get me wrong. I cook me up some meals here and there. To be honest with you, I do prefer, what I'm saying, juices, or I like, blending my stuff up, but it's if I could do it every day, if I had like a family type of unit, queen and all that good stuff, where we exchange the responsibilities and stuff of that nature. Make sure we both are healthy here. Yeah, that's what I probably should be doing every day. More juicing, fruits and stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe some vegetables here and there in the evenings for suppers, because that's more of a different type of sugar and a different type of slower processes. You know, I have for lunch, and then around supper, may have some more type of juice or something. Yeah. But yeah, I probably be more of a fruitarian, juicitarian type of dude. You know. But right now, I guess they call me a vegetarian. Not really vegan yet. But like I said, when I make this step, that's gonna be more. 'Cause I know what I enjoy, and it gives me more energy and more spunk for the buck. And that's what it's about, you know what I mean? It's about that energy. It's about being able to get the proper nutrients, vitamins, and minerals and substances in your body for your body can function at a certain optimum level and frequency. And part of that frequency is joy and be able to move, you know what I mean? Versus feeling all sluggish and down and sleepy and don't want to move and argumentative. I mean, the list goes on when you fatigue. So I need to end this, family. You know what I mean? I'm just rambling on. I said I was going to hold your ears up hostage, but, I got on this subject for today. Maybe we get back on it some more. But cooking your food, family, it's not a good thing. If you're going to eat meat, you got to eat it raw, family. That's all I'm saying. And I know y'all you crazy, man. Don't eat no darn raw chicken or raw beef. But I'm saying, if you're saying you want all these proteins, in which our body really only needs 9 from outside of the body, because the body makes the other 20 or so amino acids, which is what you call proteins anyway. So really outside of the body making its own proteins that you call, we only need like 8 or 9 of them outside of that. And so here he is eating substances. They got way more than that. 30 or 40 different amino acids or protein molecules and stuff that our body can't even use and need. Becomes waste. I'm just saying, fam. Do your research. If not, call me up. Let me consult you, family. Let's get me on some radio shows and come into your community. And even do maybe some free health screenings right now. You know what I mean? To help educate our community about we have to do more prevent health. Stop waiting for bad health before you do anything. It's just sad how we do. Hey, I'm a victim of it as well. But at the same time, I'm conscious of it enough to try to proceed every day not to be a victim. So I think part of education and information will help us go in a certain direction. It's when you don't have no direction at all. It's when it really get confusion. Or when you go on these different sites and different things and you're finding out, trying to find this information, that information for your particular situation or condition that you waited around for, when if you had already been practicing or doing a preventive measurements, then you won't be as in a crucial predicament. But we must understand a lot of stuff, information that we read, books that we read, and all these things may not be for our chemical makeup, as I have mentioned earlier in other videos, that we have melanin, which is a conductor of the sun, this air, these things that you're seeing, you know what I mean? And this reflect even on my face right now, on my body, you know what I'm saying? And anything I eat and certain things, it ignites and let it shoot through my body and let my iron and my heme and my globin, shoot through my oxygen, all that stuff, shoot through it. And any nutrients that I did eat or drink today, you know what I'm saying? It's going to go through each cell and with my cells going to gonna hit a tissue, and through the tissues, it's gonna go into the organs and hopefully give it some nutrients and vitamins and minerals and different things of that nature. Oh, it's a beautiful day out here, family. Hope y'all out meditate. Where I'm at, sound like I'm in the jungle all the time. Only it's like all these birds. You be around them enough, you start, learn how to talk like them, right? I'm just saying. It's about coming as one with nature. Everything around you. The loved ones, everyone. It's about connecting y'all bubbles. And y'all become a divine bubble. Like them, Megatrons. I can't remember the old cartoon where a bunch of them had different powers, and then when they come together, they're just one big, huge machine or whatever. That's what we need to do in our community, family. Coming together like one big, huge machine. It's the only way it's going to happen. You're going to have that superpower, right? I'm getting ready to sign off. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't followed me on IG, follow me at DOCTAHCOPELAND. And I hope everybody's blessed. Remember to hit me up if y'all like to get a consultant, like for me, come in and do interviews or a lecture, small groups. And like I said, I can do some health screening too. I throw that on in too. Why not? Depends on how big the group is. We'll work it out either way. You know what I'm saying? One love. And I hope that you got something from this information today. And hope you share it, remix it, do what you got to do. Let them know Dr. Copeland coming at your door. Knock, knock.